Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and this is to answer some questions that people have concerning the Microsoft Edge browser, and of course questions of also, are there some people that have problems or not, and so on. So it's been 3 weeks, pretty much today. It was Wednesday, January 15th, that the official release for the stable version of Microsoft Edge. We are Wednesday, February the 5th, 2020. So 3 weeks now of using Edge, the new Edge browser, which is based on Chromium. And of course, as time went by, some people actually had questions. So first of all, the first question, am I still using it? And do I like it? So I am still using it. I'll be honest, I'm actually using the developer version. Why? Because it has the features that are one particular feature that's missing that I'm using, which is the collections feature on the upper right corner. So that collections feature is something that I like, but it's not available yet in the regular version. It's missing. So yes, I'm still using it, but I'm using the developer to have some of the new features. Yet, I've been using, since the day they started the insider previews, I've been using Edge, the new Edge, as my main browser. So this is an indication, I think, that it's a very nice browser. I'm not a big fan of Google Chrome. I have it because of videos that I do and that I need to talk about these things. But honestly, I've never been a big fan of Google Chrome. And I always kind of liked other browsers. And, there's probably a side of me that doesn't like to use something that everybody uses. I like to be the one that uses something that is different. But I'm very happy with Edge, the new Edge. It is a very beautiful browser, and it is fast. But as some of you have pointed, and that's another question, is there are some features that are missing, and some of them from the old Edge. One of the features that's missing from the old Edge that I don't think is going to come back is set tabs aside. Some of you have been mentioning that, and no, I don't think it's going to come to the new Edge. But you can go to the feedback hub and say, I want to have set tabs aside for the new Edge. We'll see what happens. Another question concerns privacy. Privacy is always a big concern. And, when we talk about big companies like Google and Microsoft and so on, well, most of you are a little weary, a little, kind of, but, I don't use Chrome because I don't want Google to track everything. And now if I use the new Edge, well, it's Microsoft that's tracking everything. What's the difference? And there's not a lot that we can talk about that in a certain way, and we just got to think that whatever you use, it's got to be used in a certain way, and you got to trust up to a certain point. And I know it's a complicated issue, and we're walking on a very, very thin line here with privacy. And some of you use other browsers, and for that reason, some of you use Brave because it's known to be one of the most strict browser on that aspect of things. But honestly, the major difference between, if you look at just the looks of the browser, the other major difference within this new Edge browser is that, instead of being Google that's tracking, well, it's Microsoft doing things for that. But they're actually adding more tracking prevention. So technically this browser is not, is actually enhances your privacy compared to just Google Chrome. We talked about Google Chrome 80 that arrived yesterday, and they're trying to find a balance, but Google Chrome 80 doesn't actually have a panel like this where you can really play around with the settings for tracking and blocking trackers and so on. So it is kind of, privacy enhanced, but then again, there's no answer when somebody says, well, it's Microsoft, and well, yeah, it's Microsoft. What want me to say? It's all up to what we all perceive personally, and how we perceive a certain company. The other questions that I have concerns problems. Do people have problems with it? Some of you have seen posts of people having issues, and I see the posts here too of people saying, well, you know what, I'm using it, but it's very slow, it has problems. Honestly, some of the posts that I see are from users that I've noticed that a lot of them have been posting just negative stuff. So a couple of users that actually seen post, well, this browser crashes all the time and is very slow. Also the ones ranting at Windows 10, ranting at Windows, at Microsoft ads. So there's a small percentage of that background noise that I think is just people that just want to be negative because they hate Microsoft or they hate whatever Microsoft does. Now, that said, there are people with problems for sure, and there are some people saying that they find it really sluggish for some reason. There are some people that have crashing issues with it. It, of course, can happen, but it happens with every browser. I mean, there are people go to the blog posts, look at the amount of people having problems with Chrome. It's not worse. It's the usual background noise of people having problems, which are the ones that voice their frustrations. I always say it. It's easy to fall in the, oh, look at that, this is plagued with problems. Look at all the people complaining. Yeah, but because people complaining are the only ones that talk. The people that have a good experience with the browser, they don't say anything. So you don't see those side of things. If everybody would give their opinion, you would see that in reality, there's a lot more people that have positive experience with the Edge browser than people that have negative experience. The old Edge was plagued with some issues at the end. The old Edge had issues with all the Google services, and YouTube was slow, and it dreadfully, in the last few months of usage of Edge for me, Edge was becoming a burden and more of a problem than anything else. But that's not the case with this new Edge, which is much faster, much better. And it will actually have updates. One of the questions I get a lot also is, why do they want to have updates every 6 months? Why they can't just, have a finished product? Well, I'll answer that by another question. Why shouldn't they add features over time? And that's the thing. When you have a product, I prefer having an Edge browser that actually will add features over time, and that could be interesting to test out, or could be interesting for some users, than a static browser that, here's a browser, and it's going to stay like that for the next 10 years. That, for me, is more boring than anything else. And it is unfinished, and yes, I could rant at the fact that maybe it's unfinished, but honestly, it's not like the first Edge. If you guys remember the original Edge in 2015, it was actually really unfinished, and it was at some point even unusable because of so many things missing. It's not the case with Edge Chromium. Although there are some features missing, it's actually working well, and it feels okay. And you've got, the favorites or the bookmarks. You got everything that you need at the basics. And plus the fact that you can add, the Chrome extensions. So you just go to the Chrome extension store, and you can actually add any Chrome extensions to the Edge browser. So it's okay, and it works well. So that's pretty much what we have as questions and answer. After 3 weeks of use, I'm very happy, and I'm still using Edge Chromium and love the browser. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching our videos.